It takes a lot of people to keep this 24-hour city running. Keeping the lights on at Las Vegas tourist attractions requires more than 240,000 hospitality workers. But those are not the only people getting up when the sun goes down to get the job done. We're taking a look at some of the less glamorous, but just as important jobs that require the night shift. Who are these people keeping the city safe, clean, and running while the rest of us are sleeping?
Disrespecting when I walk up to the traffic stop and telling you why I'm pulling you over. I'm doing my job and being respectful. And then on top of that, when we tell you not to touch the gun, you touch the gun.
And I'm gonna have to print out a ticket for you, and then after that, I'm taking the weed, man. You can't.
I was gonna say, I don't need it.
Okay, perfect. Hey, James, do you have a weapon on you? Do you got any razor blades, anything sharp? Don't reach for anything. Don't reach for anything.
It is a hot Saturday night on Fremont Street Experience, and the Flex team from the City of Las Vegas Department of Public Safety is out doing what they are trained to do, have a presence in areas determined through collected data to be hotspots or places that have a history or potential to attract crime.
High visibility is the name of the game, but we can't be everywhere, but we do know that they're where crime takes place. We call it the hot times and the hot locations. So we know based on the data, and we can almost predict sometimes where crime is going to occur if we have issues and trends, so we can start to deploy our resources toward those areas and those times.
The Flex team was formed in January of 2023 and can be deployed anywhere, like the entertainment district in downtown Las Vegas, as they are on this particular night. But they can also be sent to outlying neighborhoods where there may be repeated reports of a certain crime.
In fact, we just had them deployed to an area in Ward 6 for some street racers, some folks that were doing sideshows and racing around in the Ward 6 area, and so they impacted that as well by having some visibility and some presence.
But it is tourist areas such as Fremont Street where you can find the Flex team most weekend nights. Their collaboration with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, Fremont Street Experience security, hotel security teams, and other city marshals on patrol is making a difference.
It's been amazing. So safety and security of our visitors and guests is our #1 priority. So the visual representation of whether it be Fremont Street Experience's security and or the Metro or the Marshals is only positive for really all of our guests.
The idea is to be here not only when there is a problem, but simply to be here to help.
If you happen to see security, whether it be asking for directions or things to do, or you happen to have a need, that presence is significant and very much welcome.
In the few hours we spent with the Flex team, we witnessed a wide gamut of crimes or issues they handled, like this Lamborghini being pulled over, slightly complicated by a weapon found on the passenger seat. It was owned and licensed legally, but Officer Brandon Belmont had to calmly explain to the driver why it had to be removed by officers.
If there is any type of firearm, we usually either put it in the trunk, we put it in the back seat, we put it in a glove compartment, and the reason that we do that is because we've had other officers be shot. Not saying you will, not saying you will.
It
happens where they go back inside the car, right? So they go into the car, they're on set, but they have a citation or whatever the circumstances, and they open fire on us.
By the way, by the time the citation was issued and the call was completed,
You're very professional.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
quite a testament to a job handled well, coming from a man now facing a hefty fine for testing the agility of his new car. On this night, there were also minor infractions, but they too needed to be dealt with for the safety of visitors and often of those committing the acts, like this man.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. All right.
He may be blocking the sidewalk, but the main concern of this team is simply getting him help. Sergeant Jay Belcher.
We've had a lot of issues, people succumbing to the heat. So we want to make sure to avoid that anytime we can. And if we can intervene, provide them some water, even picking up and moving them along. You know, the sidewalks are really hot.
Hey, James, real quick, for medical, we got to pat you down, make sure you don't have any weapons, okay? It's cool, man. So do me a favor, just keep your hands on your head, and he's just going to pat you down, okay? You're not in trouble.
Getting him water and an ambulance gets him on the way to safety. Others who endanger themselves are pedestrians who ignore the "don't walk" signs on Fremont. Officer Belmont says last year this area saw its highest level of casualties when it comes to vehicle versus pedestrian accidents. By the way, the pedestrian rarely wins.
So once they start walking this way, they'll block traffic, stumble upon the street when they're not supposed to, possibly get hit. We are focusing and trying to educate people as much as we can, and also keeping our presence pretty high, especially in these areas being 4th and Fremont and Casino Center in Fremont.
All in all, it was a busy few hours with the Flex team, whether it was a bike being ridden through the crowded corridor or public consumption of marijuana. They might be what you call minor crimes, but they can interfere with the safety and enjoyment of this popular tourist destination. According to Deputy Chief Kyle Ward, who oversees the Flex team, its goal is not to make certain areas of our city safe. It is to keep these areas from becoming unsafe.
The crime levels are very minimal. We want to address any type of issues and hopefully prevent any issues prior to them occurring. So our presence there is to really interact with the community and find out how we can be a resource for them to ensure they have a good time.
By all accounts, this interagency collaboration is working.
Chief Potts has been here for a year. I've been here a year and a half with the city. And I've seen vast improvements with our teams working together and also partnering with the businesses.
But really what we're chasing in policing is fewer victims. And so we want less calls for service. We want less auto burglaries. We want less park violations. We want less unhoused in our parks. We want less complaints. And so we're measuring that compared to our outputs. We know we can't arrest our way, we can't cite our way out of issues, but we know if we have that activity, we hope it leads to good outcomes, which is fewer victims.
And you're finding that to be the case?
We are.
I love this job. The Flex team is something that I'm very passionate about, to be able to come out here and do proactive police work, focus on the hot people, the hot times, and basically just provide a safe environment for the citizens and visitors of the state.
Nancy Byrne here. I hope you enjoyed that story. For more great stories about the city of Las Vegas, don't forget to click on that box.